Hello and welcome to the One Man Renegade Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tiana Brick B, and today is Saturday, and we were just hours away from NXT Vengeance Day taking place from Washington, D.C. I believe it's called at the Washington, D.C. Sports Arena or something like that. The Care First Arena. I thought it was called something else, but apparently it's the Care First Arena. In Washington, D.C. It's the home of the Washington Mystics of the WNBA and the Capital City Go-Go of the NBA G League, in addition to the practice facility for the Washington Wizards. It used to be called the Entertainment and Sports Arena. Okay. And then they just changed it to the Care First Arena. All right. I thought I was... Okay. Thank you, because I just read the Wikipedia, because I thought I could have sworn it was called like Entertainment Sport or something Sports Arena or something like that. And I'm looking up Care First Arena. I've never even heard of that. Apparently, they literally just changed the name. Like literally, it was like happened today. Yeah, I don't even know when it happened, but regardless, that's where it's taking place from. All right, so a little breaking news there, or changing news there. As I looked at the Wikipedia, Care First Arena as opposed to the Entertainment and Sports Arena, which originally I think it said was where they were having it. Anyways, my mind's totally blown by that. So we're going to do a little preview of that. We're going to open up some NXT 2.0 cards because that's still the last NXT product that was put out back in 2022 by Panini. Hopefully now Topps has the license back. We'll get a new NXT set. So I can open up something different, but I bought a whole case of these blasters, so that's just what I got. That's what I got. But anyways, if you missed any previous wrestling-related videos, head on up there. It's a big old massive playlist of tons of stuff. So if you're looking for something specific, certain year, product, brand, league, whatever, you might want to go over to the channel page and search for it over there. And while you're over there watching all the amazing videos, while you're right here, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. Also, hit the like button, give us a nice thumbs up, hit that share button, share this with everyone you know, head on down in the comments, and tell me, did you know it was called the Care First Arena prior to just now? Because I didn't. I was like, wait, I don't remember it be called that. But also tell me who you think's going to win all the matches tonight, and also check out the links in the description for all my other social media stuff and all my other internet-related items. All right, so you know the deal with these. I've opened up a million of them at this point. We're looking for Blaster exclusive autographs and memorabilia, so hopefully we'll get something. I haven't really pulled too much anything crazy out of it. I think I've pulled a couple relics. I don't think I've pulled the autograph out of any of these so far. Of course, this product came out in 2022, so we're a little beyond, past, it's almost 3 years now. So there's a lot of people in this product that are definitely not with NXT anymore, and a lot of them are not with WWE anymore. But we'll get into it and see what we can find. Hopefully we'll find some of the people that are involved in tonight's matches and kind of discuss that and see if we'll... I always think these are thick, but there's just a lot of cards in them, so they all feel thick. But let's just get into it, see what we can find. Yeah, there's 6 matches scheduled. Hold on. I changed the page because I was Care First Arena. Got 6 matches scheduled. We got Ivy Nile. Of course, she's now up on Raw, going after the Intercontinental title, Women's Intercontinental title. Noam Dar still out injured. I'm not sure how close he is to return. Potentially, we could see him return tonight, for all I know. Josh Briggs, he's actually getting the title match as he and... he and Yoshiki Inamura, I think he's from Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure. Are taking on Nathan Frazier and Axiom, or Fraxium, as people like to call them, for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I think Fraxium are still going to retain, but eventually I feel like I don't know what's going to go on with them. We got Brutus Creed, of course, him and his brother up on Raw going after the tag titles against the War Raiders. Although I did just hear that Julius Creed, his brother, is going to be part of UFC. What's it called? What's their show called? I'm blanking on what it's called. The UX, not the, what's it called? The fighter thing. The UFC show. Whatever it's called, which I'm completely blanking on. We got Fallon Henley. She's defending her NXT Women's North American Championship tonight against Stephanie Vaquer. I mean, obviously, I imagine Fatal Influence gets involved and does some stuff. But I think ultimately Stephanie Vaquer is gonna win. We got Wesley, who's spending a lot of his time over in TNA these days, as the working agreement between TNA and NXT continues on. Feuding with his old pals, the Rascals. We got Damon Kemp, who's no longer with the company. Tio Man, no longer with the company. Charlie Dempsey, still ahead of the No Quarter Catch crew. They're not scheduled to be involved in anything tonight. Wendy Chu's kind of gone missing. She did little things in TNA, kind of with Rosemary for a minute, but then hasn't been really seen recently. Wild Boar no longer. Ginny married to Gunther, but no longer with WWE. Drew McIntyre, of course, doing his thing now on SmackDown. Dave Mastiff is no longer with the company, but that has a green parallel. And then we got the highlights card of Tommaso Ciampa, of course, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, the SmackDown ones. I think that's what they're called. With DIY, of course, retaining thanks to the Street Profits at Royal Rumble. All right, next pack. We got Blair Davenport, who was one of the most recent people let go from the company. Caden Carter, I believe... I think they're on SmackDown now. I don't know. There was the transfer window and they were on Raw, but then I think they were on a recent episode of SmackDown, kind of just talking to Nick Aldis, but it wasn't really clear whether or not they were actually on. I don't know. Zion Quinn, not with WWE anymore. Dave Mastiff, we talked about a minute ago. T-Bone, nope. Gigi Dolan, of course, she's now tagging with Tatum Paxley and Shotzi. I feel like they have a name for the team, but I forget what it's called. Julius Creed, I just talked about, Ultimate Fighter. That's what it is. Ultimate Fighter. Why couldn't I remember that? It's like, it's Fighter, but it's like the Ultimate UFC Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, he's apparently going to be part of Ultimate Fighter. Carmelo Hayes doing his thing on... Still on SmackDown, I think? Or did he get moved over to Raw? I'm trying to remember now. I think he stayed on SmackDown. Because there was this whole thing with him and Nick Aldis, and he was Adam Pearce. Anyways. Cora Jade, she's going to be in the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship tonight, of course, along with Julia defending her title, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez. I think, all right, let me go back, make some predictions. So, I think Julia's going to retain. I don't see that changing. I think like Bayley and Roxanne are probably going to kind of like, not eliminate each other because it's not an elimination match, but kind of take each other out because I feel like they're going to continue that feud. But I feel like Roxanne Perez this could be one of her last matches, if not her last match in NXT, as she's got a qualifying match for Elimination Chamber on Monday against Raquel Rodriguez. Ashton Smith no longer with WWE. Von Wagner no longer with WWE. Shinsuke, he's the U.S. champion still on SmackDown. You wouldn't know it if you watched SmackDown usually. Although to be fair, I'm recording this before SmackDown, yesterday. So maybe he did a lot on SmackDown yesterday, but he is still the US champion. Raquel Rodriguez, we talked about 2 seconds ago. She is going to be fighting Roxanne Perez in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And Walter/Gunther, of course, is still the WWE World Champion. And he'll be taking on Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Oh, one other thing Jey Uso, speaking of which, I completely forgot to bring this up. A couple weeks ago when I did my Royal Rumble preview, Senga, no longer with WWE, A-Kid, aka Axiom. Of course, we'll be fighting Josh Briggs there tonight in the tag match. Dante Chen, I don't know that he's still with WWE. I think he is. I think he's been doing stuff. I don't know. He's one of those guys that popped in and out every once in a while, but I think he might still be around. I don't know. Unlike Isla Dawn, who got let go, but this is Amelia McKenzie, who's not with WWE anyways. Robert Stone. Let me get back to that Jey Uso thing in a second. Robert Stone still kind of being an assistant to Ava, I guess. Kamanjiro no longer with WWE. Jack Stars no longer with WWE. Joaquin Wilde up on Raw with the LWO. Got Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Champion currently up on Raw. Idris Anofi, still hanging around doing stuff. I feel like got Sam Gradwell, Nina Samuels no longer with WWE. Damian Priest is now on SmackDown, and then we got Zach Gibson no longer with WWE. I think he's with AEW, but it's been mostly in Ring of Honor, I feel like. And then Asuka is currently out injured, but may be returning soon. I don't know. All right, back to the Jey Uso thing. So if you watched my video a couple weeks ago previewing Royal Rumble, I made my picks for Royal Rumble. They were wrong. I had Io Sky and CM Punk. Didn't work out well. But it's funny because that day of, I actually didn't watch it live because I went to the Bruins game, and by the time the Bruins game was over, Royal Rumble had already started, and whatever. But prior to that, a couple of friends of mine, I was texting with my friends, and they were like, "Who do you think's going to win the Royal Rumble?" And I was like, I said CM Punk, Io Sky. But then out of like just pure pure nonsense, I decided to Google. I Googled a random number generator, and just picked out 1 to 30. Picked out one number for the women's, came up number 27, and then one number for the men's came up number 20. So I just I was like, hey guys, this is gonna win. Here's put all your money on number 27 and 20. Just kind of joking around, whatever. I mean, the text is on my phone, which unfortunately I'm using right now. Although, can I bring it up on my watch? Hold on. Maybe I can bring it on my watch because it sounds ridiculous, but like, it's true. It's very true. Let me see if I can find it. But anyways, so number 27 and number 20. Now, going into the Royal Rumbles, I knew like the big favorites were Flair and Charlotte Flair and John Cena, which is fine. But I just didn't think they were going to go that obvious with it. So that's why I picked Io Sky and CM Punk, who at the end of the day, we still may end up somehow with them being in the championship matches. But, going back and then watching the show, I'm like, all right, well, Flair and Cena are probably still the best bets. So I'm watching the women's one, and then at number 27, Charlotte Flair comes out, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. And as soon as she came out, I'm like, okay, she's going to win. And of course she did. So I'm like, okay, all right. So that's interesting. The random number generator. I'm trying to find the text. I have to scroll back a couple weeks. Let's see. Oh yeah. So here we go. Random number generator told me entrants 27 and 20 are going to win. So there. This was after I had said Io Sky and CM Punk were going to win, and said no spoilers because of the Bruins. So there's proof that I sent that text. So then I'm watching the men's Royal Rumble, and Jey Uso comes out at number 20, and I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, I got the 27 right. That's fine. 20, I don't know. I don't see Jey Uso winning this. And then Cena came out, I think, at 23, and then Punk was 24, or something like that. But then as the thing goes on, all right, okay, Seth, Roman, they get eliminated. CM Punk, okay, Logan Paul eliminates CM Punk. And come down to CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Logan Paul. No, sorry, John Cena, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. And I'm like, well, there's no way Logan Paul is winning this. Cena eliminates him. And then it's Uso and Cena, and I'm like, okay, Cena's gonna win, but it's a good way to build up Uso. He got the final, final elimination. And then Jey Uso won, and the first thing I was thinking of, like, holy crap, I picked the random number generator picked the right numbers. So there, I don't know, crazy random number generator. All right, Andre Chase, he's of course Chase U's no longer a thing, but he's kind of wandering backstage, being sad about it. And other people are trying to boost his spirits. Io Shirai, Io Sky, there still could be possibility of her getting in the main event there, or at least a title match, because she's fighting Rhea Ripley. The Raw after Elimination Chamber, which is like 2 weeks from Monday, something like that. Nathan Frazier, we talked about. He, of course, will be fighting along with A-Kid, aka Axiom, against Josh Briggs and Inamura. Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, out with some broken ribs and stuff. Still in Raw and still in the what's it called? The Judgment Day, but yeah, had quite a bump a couple weeks ago. Yikes. Brooks Jensen is currently tagging with Sean Spears and the other guy's name I always forget. They attacked the family, but then Izzy Dame turned on the family this week on NXT. But so I'm guessing they're going to set up Sean Spears against Tony D'Angelo at something. Odyssey Jones, Bodie Haywood, no longer with the WWE. Wolfgang Gallus has kind of been MIA recently. I don't quite know what the plan is there. Nikita Lyons, she had a match with Zarya this past week on NXT. Yulisa Leon, I don't believe is on NXT anymore, or WWE. Kit Wilson, of course, the Pretty Deadly, doing their thing on SmackDown, are heavily involved with the tag title situation. On the periphery, but still there. Zaya Brookside, she's doing her thing in TNA right now. Kevin Owens, of course, lost to Cody at the Royal Rumble, but then beat up Sammy. So we'll see what happens with that. Looks like Kevin Owens again at WrestleMania, maybe. I don't know. Quite sure where Randy Orton is and all that, and I don't think Kevin Owens is necessarily done with. We got Zion Quinn there. We talked about him, no longer with WWE. Kevin Owens, I don't know if he's necessarily done with Cody. And they got Bayley, of course, she's in the women's match, which might main event. I'm not sure. That could be the main event. I wouldn't surprise me if that ends up being the main event. Of course, against Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, and Julia. All right, a couple more packs to go, then we'll kind of chat and see what else I didn't mention, because there is other stuff going on with NXT. Well, Grayson Waller, perfect. Grayson Waller, of course, is in the triple threat for the NXT Championship against his tag partner Austin Theory and then Oba Femi. I don't see any way that Oba Femi doesn't win that. Tiffany Stratton, of course, the current WWE Women's Champion. All things are kind of looking towards her fighting Charlotte at Mania. Tony D'Angelo, like I said, just retained the NXT North American Champion in a cage match against Ridge Holland, but then Sean Spears and gang beat him up afterwards. Kenny Williams no longer with WWE. Aoife Valkyrie, or Laya Valkyria as she's known now, of course, the Intercontinental Champion. She just lost to Bayley in an Elimination Chamber qualifier match. Alba Fire's a bit up in the air right now as her tag partner, Isla Dawn, got released. But she seemingly didn't. So I'm guessing they're going to repackage her because she's without a tag partner at this point. Speaking of which, Isla Dawn, no longer with WWE. Lash Legend, she got in the Rumble. Went after the tag titles. Didn't work out, but we'll see What's next for Lash Legends? Zach Gibson, we've discussed, no longer with WWE. A Dennis, no longer with the WWE. Duke Hudson, no longer with WWE. Indy Hartwell, no longer with WWE. Rhea Ripley, of course, the World Women's Champion, going to be fighting Io Sky in a couple weeks. Got Asuka, we discussed, hopefully back soon. And Cameron Grimes, no longer with WWE. All right, last pack. And then we'll fill in the gaps with stuff I haven't talked about, and then some other stuff. We got Primate, no longer with WWE. Mark Coffey, like I said, I don't know what's going on with Gallus these days. Joe Gacy, again, I don't know what's going on with Wyatt 6 either. Of course, Alexa Bliss is back. She is now on SmackDown. Wyatt 6 got moved to SmackDown, but haven't been seen recently. Apparently, Bo Dallas is injured, and that's primarily the reason, because last time I think we saw the Wyatt 6 was a match actually I was at, where Dexter Lumis fought The Miz, and Bo Dallas, or Uncle Howdy, was nowhere to be seen, so he might have already been injured at that point, and then they're kind of like, well, what are we doing with these guys? Well, let's just take them off TV for now. But Alexa Bliss, seemingly going to be somehow involved. There was a weird little TV glitch thing with her match on last Friday, not yesterday, but the week before. There could be more stuff that happened last night. I don't know. Yeah, so as she qualified for the Elimination Chamber. Triple H is going to be going to the Hall of Fame as a solo act, and they just announced today, here Triple H did surprise Michelle McCool that she's going in, as well as her and The Undertaker were on ESPN promoting LFG that starts on tomorrow on A&E. You got Ilya Dragunov possibly back soon. Tiger Turan, no longer with WWE. Solo Sikoa made his return last week, attacking Cody, so I'm assuming there was more with that last night. I'm guessing they're going to do Solo and Cody at Elimination Chamber. That'd be my guess. Mandy Rose, no longer with WWE. Amari Miller, I don't think is with WWE. There's Roxanne Perez. We talked about her. Of course, these three will be in the match, going after Julia's World Championship. Giovanni Vinci, another guy, just got released. Cameron Grind got released a while ago. We got Angelo Dawkins. I mentioned the Street Profits. Got involved with the tag match at whatever it's called, Royal Rumble. Hey, Dennis, we talked about Asuka. We've talked about it multiple times. Attacking both DIY. Well, actually, first attacking Motor City Machine Guns, costing them the match, and then DIY efforts. All right, so let's run down the card real quick and kind of fill in what I missed. Obafemi taking on Austin Theory, Grayson Waller for the NXT Championship Triple Threat. I think Obafemi's going to win that. Val Henley taking on Stephanie Vaquer. Val Henley defending the NXT Women's North American Championship. I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to win. We got Julia defending the NXT Women's Championship in a Fatal 4-Way against Bayley, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade. I think Julia is going to retain. Nathan Fraser and Axiom, they were up here somewhere, taking on Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura for the NXT Tag Champions. I do believe that Fraxium are going to retain. And then the final match that we didn't talk about because Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe didn't show up on the thing. Got Trick Williams taking on Eddie Thorpe in a strap match. I'm going to say Eddie Thorpe's going to win just because if he doesn't, I don't know. But like at the same time, it's like if Trick, I don't know. I feel like Trick might be moving up to the main roster at some point soon. Because I don't quite know what else to do with him. Unless they want to set up the Obafemi Trick Williams one-on-one rematch, which they never really did. Yeah, maybe Trick Williams does win that. I'm going to go with Trick Williams on that. I just talked myself out of it. Now, a couple other things to mention before we go. Ricky Starks, who they didn't refer to as Ricky Starks, but it sounds like they're going to refer to Ricky Starks. They just didn't have the copyright or the trademark yet ready. So they didn't want to, I don't know. Anyways, he just showed up randomly. He got fired on Monday. Well, let go or whatever on Monday from AEW. Or at least the reports came out on Monday. I think it was Monday. And then on Tuesday, he was on NXT. So quick turnaround there. Showed up in the crowd. Kind of said, I'm here. And the Revolution will be televised. So I'm assuming he's going to do something. You don't just have him appear like that and not have him on on the show. So I'm guessing he'll do something. I don't know what. But then also they've been teasing this thing. There was color bars at the end of a couple weeks ago in NXT, and it just said NXT Vengeance, and then said something else the next week, and then there was teases and stuff, and there was silhouettes of people, and then they showed like these masks and stuff. Don't know what any of it is, but if it's happening, it should be happening. Something should be happening tonight because it said NXT Vengeance day on it, in the original thing and all that. So not quite sure what that's going to be all about. There's been speculation online, people kind of trying to figure out who's who in the thing. So I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of new faction that debuts to do what, I don't know. I just hope it's not like a retribution type thing, because honestly, it kind of gave me a little retribution vibes. Hopefully it's not that. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. I don't know that anyone from TNA is going to get involved at all. Jordan Grace, technically back with the company, hasn't done anything since she was in the Rumble, but hasn't done anything. Josh Alexander's another guy that rumors, but also they still have a working agreement. I mean, we just saw Fandango, or JDC as he's called now, challenge Alexis King for the Heritage Cup on Tuesday. So could see some more potential people showing up from TNA, whether properly or just as part of the agreement or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. Should be a good show. I believe it starts at 6. Everything I said saw it started at 6, but I wasn't sure if that meant the pre-show started at 6 or the actual show starts at 6. Could be 5 o'clock pre-show, then it starts at 6. And then it should be over in time for you to catch AEW Grand Slam, which I think already actually happened because it was recorded in Australia earlier today. Well, as I'm recording this in a couple hours, but as you're watching this, it already happened. But then I'll be airing as part of Collision. But it's after the NBA All-Star Saturday Night stuff. Even though it's already recorded and streaming on Max. Why couldn't they have just streamed it live on Max? I don't know. But whatever. The whole thing has been very confusing with AEW. Grand Slam Australia. And that's a whole other different story. So we're not here to talk about that. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. This video is super long, and I apologize. There was a lot of NXT stuff to talk about and lots of cards to go through. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and enjoy NXT TakeOver. And we'll be back in a couple weeks for, not TakeOver, what is it? Vengeance Day. I'm used to them calling NXT TakeOvers. We'll be back in a couple weeks to talk about Elimination Chamber. So come back then, but come back every day. I got videos posted every day, sometimes multiple day. Like earlier in today, there was a Hangover Saturday video. If you missed that, go check it out. So just hit that subscribe button, turn the notification, get a notification every time videos up when you watch. Come over, watch it, like it, share, comment, and all that fun stuff. Keyword this fun, just having fun here in the channel. Talking about NXT, way too much talking about NXT. So I don't do the podcast anymore. This would probably would have been more stuff would have gone over on the podcast. So I kind of turn it into these card opening videos, which, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. So thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe. Have fun. Talk to you next time. Bye.